Looks like we're live on Facebook, Andrea. How are you tonight?
I'm great.
All right. Well, hey, it might be a while while people jump on because the Australian, New Zealand country call was going on, and they had a little technical difficulty getting the system unmuted. But
Okay.
I wanted to stay on because Tom was covering brain vitality.
Isn't that interesting?
Wow. So people get a
Yeah,
double dose of brain vitality this week.
because we just talked about it Tuesday.
We just talked about it on Tuesday. Yeah, and so where Tom talked more on the science behind brain vitality,
Hmm.
we spent most of our time talking about neurodegenerative diseases,
Right.
right? So a little bit different aspect on it, a little bit different way of looking at it.
Mhm.
And so I suggest that people listen to, well, the problem with the calls that Tom does there, normally we don't get the recordings out. So
Yeah,
if
they
you
don't
weren't on
record
it,
it. I was hoping that you would record it.
no, I can't record them. I got told I can't record them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not nice. So now he's got to come do brain vitality for us.
So the recording you'll get to listen to is the one that you and I did the other day.
Okay.
But folks, for those of you that have joined us over here on the webinar, thanks for being here. Comment and we'll try and answer your questions if we can. If not,
I better.
we'll lie to you and we'll tell you an answer anyhow.
Yeah, we'll tell you what we think.
No, I'm just teasing. We don't do that. We don't do that. If I don't know the answer, to the best of my knowledge, I'll look it up. I won't tell you a lie. Andrea, you know that.
Yeah.
If you're watching us on Facebook Live right now, give us the old thumbs up, give us the heart or the smiley face, comment, and we'll get back to your comments after the webinar. But, you know, Andrea, I try and tell people the reason I spend my Friday nights, the reason you spend your Friday nights here rather than going out on a date, going out for dinner, going to a movie. Well, partly because Michigan is all locked down. You can't go anywhere anyhow.
What?
But
They are?
but North Dakota, we can pretty much go wherever we want. We can do what we want. But the reason I do it is because, I realized a long time ago, over 30 years ago, that, my purpose for doing what I do, my purpose for being here, I really feel, God gives us each a purpose. And I really
Mhm.
feel that my purpose is to help people live happier, healthier lives.
It's a great purpose.
Yeah. And especially right now, I don't think just in the United States, but I think across the globe with this lockdown, with this coronavirus thing, people are finding out that you know it's not so fun to lose freedom, especially financial freedom.
That's for sure.
And people are they're looking for a way, they're looking for another way to generate a source of income.
Mhm.
And, for those of you that are new, those of you that are unfamiliar with network marketing, I'm just going to tell you that, you know, when you're building a network marketing business, the whole idea behind it is that Andrea's on my team. I'm going to help Andrea build her business.
Mhm.
Andrea's going to go out and find her friend Jane, and she's going to say, hey, Jane, I'm going to help you build your business. Jane's going to go out and find one of her friends and help her build her business. And we're all going to help the team do that because as we help other people, it helps us. And that's the whole
Right.
beauty of network marketing. And what I like about a company like Sisel, we've got products that actually work. So you don't have to convince people to keep buying the product. Once they
Mhm.
see the results, they stay on the products,
Yeah, they do. We do.
you know. And 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 that develops a long-term residual income.
Hmm.
An income that comes in well, in our case, every week, week after week after week. You know, because we right now daily pay, but that's going to switch here in a month or so to where it's going to be weekly pay, just because there's been some problems with the daily pay. But anyhow, we're going to switch it to weekly pay, and that's nice to know that you're going to be getting a paycheck from your network marketing company on a weekly basis. And since
Yep.
we're a debt-free company, and the way Tom runs the business, um, the money coming in is what pays the money going out. We're debt free. He doesn't borrow any money to do
Right.
what we need to do. And I love that about our company.
Yeah, that's a real bonus. That was one of the factors that made me decide to go with Sisel.
Yeah. So, Andrea, before we get into the topic tonight that I wanted to talk about, we want to talk about invites, getting people to invite, how to do it. And when I mean invite, I'm not inviting you to a birthday party or a get together so much as I'm inviting you to take a look.
Right.
And so when I say invite, when I'm referring to invite, that's what I'm talking about. But before we do that, I wanted to cover Super Detox just a little bit. And let me pull up a screen here that I have on the product. And you know, can I zoom in on that? No, actually I cannot. It won't let me zoom in.
I
Okay.
have it right here
But
in my hand.
there you have it in your hand too. Wow. Here, let me stop the share, and I'll just let you share your bottle. Oh, now it won't let me. There it went.
I just got it
You just
today.
got it today.
Yeah. My order came today. Yeah.
All right. Have you taken it before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And you and I have talked about this before. How many pounds of fecal material, impacted fecal material, did John Wayne have in his gut when they did his autopsy?
70?
70 pounds, yeah. And how about Elvis?
70 pounds. Do you hear
Huh?
that? 70 pounds.
70 pounds
70 pounds.
of shit. I mean,
Of
impacted fecal
crap.
material.
Crap in his guts. And
Yeah.
Elvis
50.
had 50.
Yeah.
That's why he had that big gut at the end of, when he was in his 40s. 50
Yeah.
pounds of yuck in
Wow.
there.
I mean, just think about that. All that just dead, rotting, disgusting stuff just stuck in there.
Yep.
And so we have a lot of detox products on the market. You go online, if you type detox into your search engine, you'll come up with 1,000 different detox products and programs, and the honey detox and the sugar detox and the lemon drop detox and all these different things. I've just seen crazy types of diets, and what they do is they purge the system,
Mm-hmm.
but that's it.
Right. They
That
make you people
impacted
up.
fecal material, it doesn't come out. So the way our gut is designed, it's not designed like a piece of paper where it's smooth, right?
Right.
So if this is 11 and a half inches, right? What if we take it and we fold it like this, right? And now I can put 11 and a half inches into 1 inch.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you're taking and you're squishing it all together, and that's what your intestine looks like.
Yep.
But if you stretch it out, it has a huge surface area. And where these folds are, right, in
Mm-hmm.
between there, where the fold is, right in here,
Right.
that's where that impacted fecal material, it sets in there. And when it sets in there, it hardens, and it can calcify. I've seen it on x-ray. When I used to x-ray my patients, I would see it on their x-rays.
Really?
And so you get heavy metals that deposit in there, heavy metals
Mm-hmm.
like lead and mercury and arsenic and all that different stuff. You get toxins like glyphosate,
Right.
Roundup. You get other BPA, plasticizers, all that stuff that gets held in there.
In those folds.
and it just stays there. So you lose all that surface area for your body to absorb nutrients.
Right.
So when you lose all that surface area to absorb nutrients, guess what? You're not going to be healthy.
You can also, get some kind of condition from that, can't you?
Oh yeah. Oh, it can. I mean, it can trigger cancer,
What
a
about
whole lot of things.
diverticulitis?
Yeah, and like you and I were just talking about on the call on Tuesday, and like Tom talked about just on the call that he just did, is that your gut is the key to good health. It's the key to good health
Mhm.
for your brain as well, because your gut communicates directly with the brain. They don't even know how it really does it yet, but they found that the bacteria in your gut communicate directly with your brain.
Yeah, I know a lot of people with diverticulitis. Is that like a condition from this?
Diverticulitis can be caused from it. Leaky gut syndrome can be caused from it. Crohn's disease, all of that
Hmm.
can actually be triggered by it. Yeah, yeah. And
So tell us what this does.
so, yes, I wanted to give you background and information. So when you've got all that buildup of all that gunk that's in there, you got to get it out. And you just can't take a detox. You can't do the lemon drop detox and this and that. You got to get something that's going to work like an oven cleaner.
Right. That's a good analogy.
Right? Well, when I was thinking about it tonight, I was, before I started to call, I wanted to make it so that people can have an analogy in their brain, because if they can remember it, it's going to be
Hmm.
easier for them to describe it.
That's
And so,
right.
if you're cleaning your oven and you haven't cleaned it for a while, there's
Hmm.
a lot of gunk that's baked on inside of there, right?
That's right.
And so you spray an oven cleaner in there and you let it soak.
Hmm.
What happens to all the gunk?
It dissolves it.
It dissolves it, and it just flee.
You have a
It
clean oven.
it just cleans it up. Yep, it just cleans it up. And so that's what Super Detox does in your gut. It's got special formulations that will clean up the mess, but it's gentle enough that it won't make you have a lot of side effects like some detox programs. But you
Right.
know sometimes it'll purge the system pretty quickly.
Probably depends on the person.
Depends on the person. So I tend to tell people that the first few doses that you take, make sure that you're somewhere where you're going to be close to a toilet. You don't want to be on
Don't
a
go
road trip.
hunting.
Huh?
Don't go hunting.
Well, you go hunting because you can find a tree, but um, don't go sitting in your truck driving down the road for 2 hours, 2 hour
Right.
road trip, because you might not have time, and then you'll be like a bear along the side of the road. But sometimes
Big.
it will do that, So I'm not just joking around, folks. I mean, sometimes it will happen, and but it works, and
But
so
think how wonderful your intestines are going to feel when you get done.
yeah, and so it's not one of those things that you want to do every day.
No.
you know like, you want to follow the program as it says on the bottle. What is it, like a
Mhm.
7-day program?
Yeah.
Yeah. So while you're finishing out the lockdown, you got a week till June 1st.
Yeah.
Super detox, there you
Purge
go.
yourself.
Purge, clean it up, clean up the mess, clean your oven, right? and
That's
uh
right.
and super detox works really, really well for it. I'm not going to get into all the ingredients in it, because you really don't need to know that. All you need to know is that it cleans up the system, gets it out of there, get the junk out of there, and then you can repopulate the gut. Use the body shield that's got the fulvic
Mhm.
acid. It helps
Yep.
create a great microbiome. And then balance D, because it's got the billions of colonies of healthy bacteria.
That's right.
So I think they work good. They work really good. And so Margaret is asking, should you fast as well? You know, I guess, I haven't. Do you want to completely fast? I, you know, What's your thoughts on it, Andrea? I mean,
Well,
I don't think you
I
have to.
would say no. I mean, if you had to fast, I'm sure Tom would have said you have to fast when you take
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, because it's going to clean things up. So you're actually it's going to start working right away. You're going to start absorbing your nutrients from your products right away. I think the only product that they say not to take when you're on this is the Balance D, because
Right.
it's cleaning out the walls, it's cleaning out the oven. Why would
Hmm.
you take a product that's designed to rebuild the lining, um, wait a week and then get on it?
Yeah. So for 7 days, you take a break on that and then
Yep.
go back at it. Hmm.
Yeah. Um, the only time that I don't feel it's appropriate to take the product, you don't want to do a detox when you have constipation,
Oh, okay.
right? I mean, if you're not
Yeah,
pooping,
you want to back it up worse than it
yeah.
is.
So then you're going to get all this stuff that's going to be leaking into the system there, leaching into the system. So I would say get rid of the inflammation in the gut first, then do the detox, because if it releases the toxins back into your system, they're going to be a little bit more concentrated than they were in the first place. And
Hmm.
so my thought is that, you know, um, get the gut working. So I would do things like the Super Omega. I would use the because that has the omega 3s that gets the inflammation out. I would also say that you want to do the fucoidan.
Oh, definitely, because fucoidan gets rid of that inflammation.
Get rid of the inflammation, then do the super detox. But now that would be if you've got severe constipation, right? So
Right.
anyhow, I think that pretty much covers what we wanted to cover on that product for tonight on that. So, right now, Andrea, due to the situation that's happening in the world, millions of people they're looking for a way, they're looking for an opportunity, they're looking for a way to start a home-based business.
Right.
And, you know, it's a jungle,
It is. And I see people out there promoting their home-based businesses like crazy right now.
right? But it's a jungle out there. I mean, they just here in Fargo, North Dakota, they just announced last night on the news that there's a bunch of healthcare workers at the local hospital, at the second largest hospital in town, that they're going to be losing their jobs.
Yeah, that's crazy. We
Crazy
have a
stuff.
we have a pandemic and everybody's losing their jobs in the medical field.
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to be looking for something. They're going to get started with something, and they're going to struggle at it, right? I mean, I'm sure just like I know people who have been in the network marketing industry, they've dabbled in it a little bit here and there,
Mhm.
and they've struggled and they've never really made it.
Yep.
A lot of them quit, and they get a bad taste in their mouth, don't they?
Yep.
And I think a lot of it is because they just don't really understand what they're getting into in the first place,
I think you're right.
you know? And so I guess, like I said earlier, our goal is to maybe try and help them, maybe give them a little bit direction. So
Mhm.
that's kind of what the call is all about tonight. And the first thing that I try and tell people is that, do you ever have anybody say, "Oh, these products are too expensive. I can't market them."
Well, yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah. And I think if you say that, you really don't understand. I just don't think you understand the industry. Then you need to
Yeah,
take a
well,
look at it.
you also don't understand the quality
That's right.
of
I
what
mean,
you're
because if
getting.
I'm recommending the products to my friend Andrea, and I say, "Hey, Andrea, you need to take these products," I sure as heck don't want to be telling her to take a product that's not going to work. And
Hmm.
and we all know, you've heard that saying, "You get what you pay for."
Yep, that's for
And
sure.
I found out in my chiropractic clinic a long time ago that being the cheapest guy in town, the guys that tried to underprice everybody, the average chiropractic treatment was say $35. There was
Hmm.
always the guy in town that said, "Oh, we'll do it for 20." You know, it didn't take long before they went out of business because you just you know, when you're talking about healthcare, you don't have to be the cheapest. You want to be the best. In my opinion, you want to be the
Right.
best.
That's
And
right.
so you got to kind of get what you pay for. And I think that's what it looks like when I went looking for a company that I was gonna join. When I went looking for a network marketing company, because I went looking.
Mm-hmm. You had to.
Yep, and I went searching. I had some criteria that I wanted to look at. Number one, I wanted to find a company that I could really believe in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had to be, I mean, financially secure. They had to have a track record, something that I
Mm-hmm.
could believe on. Um, they had to have some stability. I looked at the amount of debt that they had,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. I looked at the products. I wanted to see, are they products that people really want? Are they products that work?
Mm-hmm.
Pricing wasn't even one of my criteria. It wasn't even one of
Right.
my criteria,
Right.
right? Because um, maybe this could be a little bit more expensive for a premium product, and then you're going to go out and you're going to find premium people,
That's right. You find
right?
the
People that,
tribe that you find your tribe that wants to do the same thing you're doing.
right? People understand that, like I was saying earlier, they understand the whole idea that you get what you get paid for. And what I try and tell people with Sizzle, and you guys can quote me on, write this down. I think this is a good way of saying it, is that the one thing that I really like about Sizzle is that, you know, when you're looking at companies, most companies, they don't want you to really investigate their products
Really?
because they have something to hide. They're sprinkling a little bit of this in there,
Mm.
they're throwing a little bit of that in there, but they really don't have the product. They underdeliver. Like Tom says, they underdeliver.
Right.
They hype it up and they underdeliver. What I like about Sizzle is the deeper you dig into what we have, the deeper you dig into our compensation plan, the deeper that you dig into our products and our formulations, the better it looks. I
That's
mean, if you
right.
think it sounds great, wait till you start digging in. Wait till
Mm-hmm.
you start really knowing. It gets that much better,
So let's
right?
go back to a company you can believe in. So how do you develop this mindset that you can believe in a company? For instance, when I joined Sizzle, I didn't really take off and build it as a business. I was using products. But at the same time, I was listening to Tom's videos for 6 months. I mean,
Yep.
almost every night I went to bed with Tom Mauer's video going on, while I was going to sleep. And I learned so much information. So to me, it's always been about the education. If I can share with you and you come to understand the quality of the product that we have, then that gives you more confidence to share it.
That's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
you can listen to Doc and I on Tuesdays and go out there and say, well, yeah, it does this and this and this, which is good. But we have tools. We have the videos Doc and I do. You don't have to go out and
This
talk.
video right now is a tool.
You don't have to go out and talk. All you have to do is say, oh, I got something that could help you with that. I'll shoot you a video. And
That's
then you
right.
follow up. See if
Yep.
they had time to watch it. So many times when I'm sharing stuff from network marketing, I'll shoot them the tool, the video, typically, because in today's world, everyone watches videos, right? So I
Yes
shoot.
and no. And the reason I say that is because I really like audios better than videos in some cases, like that first introductory, because a video, you have to actually make time. You have to sit down. Um, I mean, I'm sure you could drive down the road and watch a video, but that's not really all that safe. Um,
Well, you
and
can hear the information whether you're watching a video or not. You can hear the information.
Right.
So
But I so like introductory, but anyhow, I just wanted to throw that in there. I like audios because audios are, hey Andrea, listen to this as you drive to work this morning. It's an 8-minute video. blah, 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 blah. When you're coming home from work, listen to this short video. When you're driving to the dry cleaners, when you're driving to the lake, whatever, right? Because they're sitting in their car and they don't have to do anything, right? And like if I'm cooking dinner and I got a video playing, am I really listening? Am I really watching it? Probably not, right? And how
But
people are.
you don't have to watch it. All you'd have to do is listen to it. So,
That's
when you
right.
and I talk on the doctor's calls,
So
you don't have to sit there and look at Andrea to understand what's being spoken about, So my point was that the more confidence in what you're selling or in your company that you have, the easier this is for you.
that's right.
It's just going to be easy because you have every confidence that it's going to work, every confidence to put your name behind what you're doing.
Yep, because
You
you
know,
can wrap your hand around these products, and you can hang on to that, and you can say, "This is my product." Check out my product, even though it says Sizzle on it. When I share it with people, right?
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
Andrea, by the time you got to where you wanted to listen to all the videos and you wanted to listen to all the audios and you wanted to just get educated on on everything, the business, the compensation plan, the products, the history behind everything, it all started with an invite, didn't it?
Oh yeah. You sent
It
me
all
a cool. You sent me a video.
Yeah, it all started with an invite. I said, "Hey, Andrea, um, pay attention to this, watch this, listen to this, do this," right? So it's an invite to do something, right? It's not an invite for you to necessarily, come to a party, come to a meeting. People say, "Hey, an invite, I want you to come to a meeting." That's the old ancient way of doing network marketing, right? Now we have these tools, and I learned from a long time ago, when you're talking, you want to be pointing at a tool. Let the
Mhm.
tool do the work for you. Let the tool do the work. It's just like if I want to pound a nail in, if I get a bigger hammer, I can pound it in easier. Have the right tool.
Right,
So have
right.
have your tools handy. Know which tools you're going to use, right? And so, which which way do you go, right? Do you tell people? Do you start out and you go, just everybody gets product information? Andrea, I got this great product. You need to hear about it, right?
Well, it depends, but
It depends. That's
mainly,
exactly it.
mainly, I look at it this way. There's products out there on shelves in big box stores that nobody would know what they are, what they do, or anything if they didn't advertise them. So they put millions of dollars into
Yep.
advertising. So you know what that product does, right?
Yep. So they
So we
educate
have
you
this
on as a consumer. So when you go into the store, you already know you're gonna buy that product.
because you were educated about it through a commercial, basically, right? So I look at network marketing this way. We are the advertisers. They call it belly to belly, nose to nose, whatever, because when you take a product that has a lot of integrity to it and it's going to be really a quality product, you have to be able to educate people to have them realize the value of it,
The value.
right? So that's why we have these tools, so that you can share a tool with them. And that's the advertising. So what are you? You're kind of like an advertising agency,
Yep.
And so instead of our company paying out millions of dollars to advertise on the TV or whatever, they're actually setting up a plan to pay us for being the advertisers.
That's right. And
And
when
we're
you're
that.
looking at products, going kind of the product route, right, where you're gonna take and you're gonna talk to a lot of people about products and things like that. That's considered bottom up marketing. In the network marketing field, that's considered bottom up. So you're going to talk to people about the products. You're going to say, "Here's a great product," and the whole idea is that you're going to find somebody that's looking for a product. They're going to fall in love with the product, and then they're going to go out and share it, because this is a business. And, you know, I mean, if you want them to build business, if all you want to do is sell them a product, you're a doctor and all you want to do is sell them a product, different story. But if you're trying to build your business, your whole goal is that, hey, Andrea, try this product. I hope that you love it. And when you do, would you share it with a few people? That's the idea of kind of bottom up marketing, right? Then they have what's called top down marketing. And top down marketing is where you start with the business and you start about the business concept. And you're talking about the whole idea of building this business. And you don't even introduce them to the product till they actually have an idea of what the business is. And like Andrea said earlier, when I asked her, which one do you use the bottom up or the top down method? Right?
That depends.
It depends, right?
Mhm.
And so you have to learn both.
Right.
You actually have to be pretty good at both. If you're talking to, well, if you were talking to me back when I was 13 years ago after my motorcycle wreck, and I was looking for a way of making money, I was looking for a way of generating income. If you had tried to sell me a product and made me fall in love with the product and then do the business, it would have taken me a little bit longer to actually get going, even though it's great products, and that's one of my criteria for building a business. But when you're talking to somebody, like let's say you're talking to, I'm going to use a stockbroker, for example.
Okay.
If you go over there and you start talking to them about brain vitality and super detox and this and this and this, in his head, he's thinking, oh, you want me to sell products. And in his business, a stockbroker, an accountant, upper management type people, a lot of those people, they sell the intangibles, right? Like you might think a stockbroker, for example, sells stocks, and he does, but he's really selling a source of income because he gets paid when you get paid. You know,
Right.
when you make money, he makes more money. So they're looking, they tend to sell intangibles, things like that. And so you got to kind of watch those people. And it's not just stockbrokers and accountants. A lot of people, engineers, they think kind of on terms of, oh, I got to go sell products, and I just don't want to build a business selling products. I got to go out and find 5,000 customers so I can sell them this product. And oh my God, that's not what I want. That's not what I want to do. Now, on the other hand, if you're talking to somebody, let's say you're talking to a lady who owns a dress store.
Okay.
She's selling dresses like the one that you have on right now, and she's selling dresses, and it's something that people can feel, they can touch, they can try it on, and that's what she's used to doing. Here, try this on, Andrea. Try this on. This will look good on you. And so, if you went to her with the concept of the business, and you said, "Hey, I've got this great business idea, and the business is built on finding other people who want to make money, and then you're going to help them make money, and then they're going to go find other people and help them find money." In her head, she doesn't get it. She's going to say, "I don't get it. Where's the
Right.
money coming from? Where's the money coming from?" Right? Because really, in reality, if you build your business that way, your best consumer is probably you, right?
Yep.
Your best consumer, your best customer is yourself, and then
Yep.
you go out and you find other people who want to go out and do the same thing. I mean, I know people who have built huge network marketing businesses and never ever went searching for any customers at all. They just went and found business people, and they built business people who built business people who built business people, and that's the guys that have the huge organizations.
Right.
And so you kind of got, and then you got the people who are a mix. Opportunity, product, right? And so you got to be able to market both, right?
Right. And I see Jenny made a statement in our comments there, and she was saying that, if you kind of interview people, you ask them open-ended questions and, get their response, and that will tell you which way to take it.
That's right. I mean, if somebody is I mean, women, they find they like to touch things. I mean, you go to the department store, you go to Macy's, they go over to the product. First thing they do is they smell it, right? That's why when you go into those stores, I remember when I used to go to the mall. I haven't been to the mall in years, but you'd walk past those stores and it'd have a counter with just
Mhm.
lots and lots and lots of bottles of products for you to try. Would they still
Right.
do that after this virus? Probably not,
I don't know. I don't go to
right?
malls either,
But I mean, you know what I'm saying? No, the sample products. I mean,
right?
if you will they still do that? But women like to try things. Where guys, the sample thing isn't as effective. That's really some market research that was done, right?
Mhm.
So that's why, like, when Tom came out with exfolium, we have those
Mhm.
little sample packets where you can rip them open, you can rub it on somebody's
Mhm.
hand, and you tell the woman as you're rubbing it, you're like, wow, look at that. Look at all that old dead dry skin come off of there. And they're going, ugh, crap. Where'd that come from?
Right?
Right? But if you did that to a stockbroker or somebody who thinks analytically, um, probably not
Right.
going to
He'd be
be
going, I don't want to go around and rub things on people's skin.
right. Right. So um, and in this industry, I mean, right now, like I said, people aren't looking for another way to spend money. They're looking for another way to make money.
Right.
And so, I think that, you gotta learn your invite properly, because you can introduce the business through the product, or you could introduce the business through the opportunity.
Mhm.
Um, there's also those people that they just want to have fun,
Yep. It depends on the personality.
right? They're so sick of being locked up, locked down, can't told what to do, that you tell them, hey, you know, we got a great way where you can meet new people, you can hang out. Every
Mhm.
Friday night we get together, right?
Well, there is this program called the DISC personality. So D's are driven people, and they're task oriented, and they usually make a decision very quickly. Like,
Yeah,
they'll look at something and go yes, or they'll go no, and that's it. And then you have your eyes, who are the happy people, the party people, the life of the party people. They are people oriented and they want to have a lot of fun. So if you understand the personality of someone, it helps. And then you have your S's, which are well, I don't want to make this sound bad, but they're called servant personalities, meaning that they're people driven, they put other people first.
so
Um,
they're the healers.
well, they're more like they'll help other people, even though it's a detriment to themselves. They'll help them.
So more of a codependent.
And I found that, if I know somebody's a definite S personality, I probably won't approach them with a business concept,
Yeah, yeah,
because they feel like, oh, if I share this with people, I'm taking advantage of them. They have
yeah.
that
If I try
mindset.
and make money off of them, right? You
Hmm.
hear them say things, oh, I got to make money off of them, right?
Yeah. And then you have your C personality, which is someone who, once they discover value in something, you're never going to change their mind, but they have to research it for some time. So those would be the people that it takes them a long time to make a decision. You have to give them enough education about what they're making a decision about so they can go and look at it, research it, and they either discard it or they hop on board. But once they hop on board, they're totally sold on it.
They're totally sold. One of the things that I've learned, would because there's a group of people who they just politely want to tell you no, go away,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know how to say no. So what they'll do is they'll try and stump you a little bit. Let's stump the doctor, right? And let's make him run around so much that he gets sick and tired of us so that he won't try and prospect us. There's those
Mm-hmm.
people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've run into them. And oh,
Yeah.
well, where's your white papers? Oh, where's your
Mm-hmm.
research on that? Where's your research on that? Where's this? Where's that? Where's some testimonials? Who can I listen to? Who blah 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 blah, right? And so, Andrea, you and I have talked about this before. So, one of the key questions that you can use when you're talking to people, again, this is a tip that for those of you in the audience, you're listening, you can ask people. You say, "Hey, Andrea, if I get you that information, will that make it closer for you so you can make your decision yes or no? Because that's what
Mm-hmm.
I want to get I want to get the answer yes or no. Are you gonna join me? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've found that if you ask people that question, the ones who really are just trying to politely tell you to go away, they'll tell you to go away. They'll say, well, right? That's the key that you should take. They're trying to tell you go away. And
Yep.
so then my thing is
And
really at that.
no,
I'm just gonna do the takeaway at that point because people hate
yeah.
the takeaway. And what I mean by that is I'll say, hey Andrea, based on what you just said, I would say this probably isn't the right time. Why don't
Mm-hmm.
we talk again in about 6 months when things change?
Yep. That's good.
Right? And do the takeaway because now Andrea, especially guys, they hate takeaways, right? Have you seen that?
Because they're competitive.
They hate, well, no, wait. You can't just take it away from me. I haven't
Right.
told you no yet. But if you
Yeah.
do that takeaway to them and you say, hey Andrea, I've made the decision for you, and that decision is that it's not the right time. I'll get back to you in 6 months. So
But then get
what do you?
back to them in 6 months.
Oh, and then you put it on your calendar on your
Yes.
phone, so you remember.
Right.
You know?
Here's Jenny is saying most of these who think you just want to make money off them actually give their money to. That's all I could see.
Yeah. Um, it's Yeah, it cuts off when the question gets too long. But yeah, a lot of people, I mean, they'll waste their money on a lot of stupid things. I've seen people waste their money on a lot of stupid things. And so, you just got to show them that, hey, this is a great way. I mean, if you follow the business plan,
Mm-hmm.
right? I like the wealth builder. I really like the wealth builder because the wealth builder was designed to help put money in their pocket really quickly, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's all designed around, hey, I can help you do this and this and this.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to put money in your pocket really quickly. And when people join network marketing, the problem with it is that a lot of people really do join because they're looking for a way to make money. I mean, if you have 100 people in a room, and this is actually some studies that they've done. If you have 100 people in a room and you say the door over there, you go through that one, and that's where you learn how to get healthier. The door over there is where you learn how to make a lot of money. And they found that I think it was 90% of people, 9 out of 10 people, will go to the money door,
Interesting.
right? Because they figure, I'll figure out my health later. I'll make enough money so I can pay the doctor to fix my health.
Yeah.
And so they really do that. And so I think the wealth builder, so you can help people make that money right away. Get them so that they're generating an income, get their return on investment, like Aaron says, get that return on investment right away. If you can get their money back in the first 2 weeks to the next first 4 weeks, whatever it happens to be,
Mm-hmm.
most people are pretty happy. They're gonna stay with you a little bit longer, which gives you a little bit better chance to help them put their roots down, build their business, right?
Right.
Because once they start generating, I mean, Andrea, if I helped you make an extra $500 a month, When are you going to quit?
Thank God you did.
Right? When are you going to quit?
Yeah, I'm not.
You're not going to
No.
quit, right?
Mm-mm.
But they've shown that if you don't help people make money in the first 60 days, um, if you don't help people make money in the first 60 days, their mind starts wandering. They start
Mhm.
looking for the next shiny object.
Yeah.
And that's why you see so many, I'm going to call them con artists in the industry. That
Mhm.
what do? They realize that you're looking for the next shiny object. So what they're going to do is they're going to jump to the next shiny object before you do. And their goal is that they're going to pull you with them. And so they're changing companies every 60 to 90 days. You've seen them.
Yeah.
You and I could list a couple people that we know mutually that do that.
Mhm.
I mean, I have one lady that I know. She was like, I mean, the queen of company jumping. And she would make a lot of money off the fast start because she'd bring a couple hundred
Mhm.
people with her. And then as soon as she made the fast start money, boom, she's to the next company doing the exact same thing.
Right.
But we want to have that long-term residual income. So you help people find what they want. And some people, it has to be a rock solid product first. The dress sales lady, right? But if
Mhm.
you're talking to somebody who is let's say we're talking to Margot's husband, who manages. He's the regional manager for KFC down in Australia. He
Mhm.
has hundreds of KFC stores that he takes care of.
Mhm.
Right? For him, the business concept was the way to go. When I was talking to him, he got it. Right? So you got to kind of figure out who you're talking to, and it's not just a male female thing, because
No.
there's a lot of really sharp women business people that I mean, well, look at the industry. What do they say?
Yeah.
70% of the leaders in network marketing are women.
Right. Women like to talk.
They like to talk. That's what I was just going to say. So, I was just looking at my notes, and I write notes every time I do one of these calls. I try and make notes and things like that. You know, one of the things that I talk about is that, well, first thing I'll say is, you know, um, I use my personality as my form of birth control. Now, I'm more analytical, engineering type. I went to school for engineering, and I couldn't get a date. I mean, and and
That's
and I didn't understand the whole concept that it was a numbers game and all of that, right? When you first get into the dating scene, I know you got married really young in your life, but you know, it's you don't want to really get too analytical when you're trying to go on a date. I mean, you don't want to ask a lot of in-depth questions and things like that, and then and like and pre-qualify them, right?
There was a lady on what was that show? The Bachelor. There was a late from Michigan. There was this
Where Michigan
crazy,
no allowed.
crazy girl on there, and like the introduction night where you're just meeting people, like she was like saying to him, well, I'm this age and I'm ready to have children and blah 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 blah, and she just was like, here's my goals and this is what's going to happen. And he was
She
like,
got voted off the island right away,
yeah, right.
right? And but then I knew these, but if you just say, hey, Andrea, hey, we have class together. You want to go out and grab a bite to eat? You want to go grab a cup of coffee? And you don't get way into it.
Right.
And so when I got divorced 16 years ago, I mean, oh my God, that was the worst thing that could have happened to me because I mean, it was like I was bad at it when I was
What
young.
do I do now?
What do I do now in my 40s, right? And this is a true story, Andrea. This is a true story. So I was building my network marketing company, and I tried some of this online dating thing, and I went out. I met this girl at a Mexican restaurant. She came, she met me there, and I tend to be the one that asks all those questions right away. I'm pre-qualifying because I know what I want and I know what I don't want and things, and all those types of things. And along the way, I decided that, she really wasn't dating material for me. I knew that we just weren't going to be able to build a long-term relationship on what we had. And so I decided that about halfway through dinner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
So I
amazing
started,
when you get in your 40s how easy it is to figure that out within about a half an hour.
yeah. So then I started prospecting her for Sisel.
Uh-huh.
I figured, well, it's not going to work over here, but maybe it'll work over here.
Right.
Right. And she figured it out, and she got up and she took her silverware and she threw it down. And she said, "You're not prospecting me for dating. You're prospecting me for your business."
Well, I wasn't, except in the last 10 minutes.
And I had to explain. Well, I figured out about half an hour ago that, this wasn't going to work. So I was going to go this way. Oh, she got up, she left. Yeah.
I bet.
We didn't go on a second date. She didn't join my business either.
I bet.
I don't know. I mean, maybe she would have. I should get better at that follow-up. I should have followed up with it.
Right? The follow-up, that's where the money is
That's
what
where
they
the money is.
say.
But, so I mean, folks, the whole thing is that I had to learn a better way of what I was doing then for prospecting then, my invite. And that's the whole thing with the business here too, is the invite. Hey Andrea, you seem pretty bright. You seem like you're somebody that takes care of yourself. I've got a great opportunity that I'd like to have you take a look. Oh, and Andrea starts telling me about, I've got this and this and this and this and this going on in my life. I mean, right away.
Great. I love busy people.
Well, but I mean, I'm talking like you come up with all sorts of things, like you're got to do your toenails and things like that. And so right away, I'm just gonna write down the product route. I'm gonna say, hey, we got some great products that you might love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do the switcheroo. I start looking for the business because it's harder to find business people than it is to find product people. So I start with the business first, the opportunity. But as soon as she gives me any kind of a clue, boom, I'm switching gears. I'm going product.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking and going down the product road that quickly. 5 minutes. Usually in 5 minutes, I can tell which direction I'm going.
Right.
How long does it take you?
Practice. And that's what people are afraid of. They're afraid to practice. You're not going to go out there and win 96% of the people that you share with. And let's get that straight. We're sharing information. So you're going to go out and share with people, and not everyone is going to join you. But guess what? You get to practice, and you're going to change up what you say. You're going to change up what you text to people. You're going to change up what you send them as tools as you go along, because you're going to learn as you go and learn what works. That didn't work. Let's try this. So that it's a process. Don't be afraid of the process of figuring out the best way to approach people based on your own personality.
And based on their personality, based on the questions that you've asked them. Yep.
Right.
And you find that fit where it fits. And sometimes it just might be, like if I asked Andrea out for a cup of coffee and we're sitting there and I realize, hey, this isn't going to work out, hopefully I can ask her and say, hey, do you have any friends that you might want to hook me up with?
Right. You don't want to buy my product? Do you have any friends who want to?
That's right. Yeah. You have any friends that might want to make $1 million?
Do you know anybody that really loves to invest in their health?
That's right. Yeah. So those are just some ideas, folks. I know we've taken up just about an hour's time.
Yep.
And we had some fun talking. It's always fun, like I told Andrea, I said I like having her on the call because we've got a rapport built where we can talk back and forth pretty easily with it.
Right.
And Jenny, thanks for throwing your input in there. We really appreciate it. And it really is just talking and sharing and get like Andrea said, get to where you're confident in yourself. Get to know what tools you have. Have your favorite tool, a business tool and a product tool, and have them handy, right? I mean,
Right.
if you're out the grocery store and you're talking to somebody from 6 feet away, and and you have to throw a video to them, but if you're talking and you don't,
number.
right, and you're write down this YouTube video, but if you're talking to them, you better have your tool handy because that's you don't want to go, oh, hey, I have to run out to my car. Just stay here. I'll be back. I promise. Don't run away.
Nope. You get all your tools stored in your device.
Yep.
So you can quickly send it. Just like that.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Andrea, don't do this. Don't give me a tool and then call me up in a week and say, hey, I need to get that video back.
Right. Well, you don't have to do that in today's world.
But I remember people still do that to me.
Those were the old days. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I get that back? Can I get that? No, I threw it away.
But I think, and I don't know if I completed the sentence or not, but you know what? So many times I send people something and their priorities aren't the same as your priorities. You have a priority of them to watch the tool, the video, see the information that you send to them. They might have gotten that video when they were at a doctor's appointment, when they were driving their kids to a ball game, when they were cooking dinner. You have no idea what was going on in their life when they got that. And how many times do you guys pick up your cell phone and look at something and go, oh, I don't have time for that now. And you put it down. And so many times when I was prospecting for Sisel even, I'd send them the tool that I wanted to send them. And then I'd check back with them in 48 hours and say, hey, did you get a chance to look at that video? And they'd go, oh, no, I didn't. I'll watch it right now. I mean, that was such a satisfying response to me, that no,
great.
But
I'll call you back and I'll call you back in 20 minutes. I want to see what you thought about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Just keep practicing, keep sharing.
Well, thanks everyone for being with us tonight. Thanks for spending some time with us. And hopefully you've got the same purpose in life that we do, is to help other people live happier, healthier lives and get this information out to the people. If you know people that want to build a business and let them know that there's no set way. You don't have to do product. You don't have to do business. You want to be able to do both. So,
That's
Andrea,
right.
I'll let you close out the call, and everyone have a wonderful weekend for you in North America and United States. Memorial weekend, 3-day weekend.
Holiday weekend. Go out and have fun. Thanks, Doc. Appreciate you inviting me.
All right. Thank you.